Have you ever noticed how a single step can change everything? How the way we move, our posture, our pace, our intention, shapes not only where we go, but how we feel about the journey itself. In the rush of daily life, we often overlook the subtle language carried in motion, as if movement were merely the means to an end rather than a lesson in itself. But out in the wild, motion is meaning. Every stride, every hover, every bound is an expression of an animal's way of being, a story of power, of presence, of persistence. Today, let us learn to read that story by watching three masters of movement: the synchronized run of wolves, the poised hover of hummingbirds, and the elastic bounds of kangaroos. In their rhythms, we will uncover insights on how to move through life with an aligned purpose, mindful grace, and resilient momentum, so that every step we take becomes both a lesson and a liberation. Wolves, the power of synchronized purpose. Imagine a dawn-drenched plain where a lone howl ripples across the air. Moments later, dark shapes materialize at the horizon, wolves emerging from the forest in a perfect pack formation. Their paws lift and land in near-perfect unison, their heads tilt in the same rhythm. In their synchronized stride lies a message more potent than any solo sprint: that unity of purpose creates power beyond the sum of individual strengths. Wolves run together not because they must, but because their survival, hunt, territory, protection, depends on harmonious collaboration. Each wolf attunes to subtle cues: the slant of a head, the flick of an ear, the pressure of paw on earth. They do not race ahead or lag behind. They find a collective pace that honors both the leader's vision and every member's capacity. In our own lives, we often tackle challenges alone, believing that self-reliance is the hallmark of capability. Yet the wolves remind us that aligned purpose, working in step with those who share our goals, propels us farther than any solo effort. When we communicate clearly, balance our efforts, and trust in each other's strengths, we move with an energy that carries us swiftly and surely forward. Consider your own pack: colleagues who share your vision, friends who hold you accountable, family members who bolster your resilience. When you synchronize your steps with theirs, sharing the journey and distributing the load, you transform individual strain into collective momentum, making every forward leap more powerful and purposeful. Hummingbirds, the art of stillness in motion. Shift your gaze to a sunlit garden where flowers shimmer with nectar-rich promise. Amid the blossoms hovers a hummingbird, wings a blur of motion, yet its body suspended in perfect stillness. It sips, it surveys, it moves on, all in a flurry of wing beats that belie the calm poise at its core. This is dynamic stillness, the hummingbird's ability to marry frenetic energy with mindful presence. It does not cease to move in order to be still. It hovers within its motion, finding that exquisite balance that allows for both progress and repose. In that moment of suspension, the hummingbird masters the art of deep focus, pinpointing its goal even amid the whirlwind of action. In our hurried days, we often mistake stillness for stagnation and motion for productivity. Yet true progress arises when we weave pause into our pace, when we hover long enough to appreciate the sweetness of the present, gather insight, and choose our next direction with clarity. Whether it's a breath before a decisive conversation, a moment of reflection in the midst of activity, or a deliberate slowdown in your daily schedule, these hovering pauses become anchors of calm that sharpen our focus and enrich our journey. Imagine your life as a hummingbird's garden. Each task is a flower, each moment an opportunity to hover and savor. As you move through your day, practice the hummingbird's dynamic stillness, balancing energy with presence so that every action resonates with intention rather than haste. Kangaroos, elastic resilience in every bound. Finally, journey to the golden grasses of Australia's outback, where a mob of kangaroos stands at the crest of a hill. One by one, they spring into motion, hind legs coiling like loaded springs, strong tails balancing their frames, bodies arching through the air in powerful yet effortless bounds. With every leap, they conserve energy, using the natural elasticity of their muscles and tendons to cover ground with astonishing economy. This is elastic resilience, the ability to transform stored energy into forward motion, to recover from each landing, and to propel oneself toward the horizon with renewed vigor. Kangaroos teach us that progress need not be a frantic sprint. It can be a series of intentional leaps, each one fueled by the momentum built in the last. They do not expend themselves in pounding dash. They bounce through life's landscapes with grace, adapting their pace to the terrain ahead. Their movement is a dance of efficiency, maximizing effort while preserving endurance. In our own pursuits, be they creative, professional, or personal, it can be tempting to push ourselves relentlessly, believing that success demands constant acceleration. Yet, like the kangaroo, we flourish when we alternate effort with renewal, storing energy in rest, recharging our reserves, and then channeling that vitality into the next bound forward. Picture your goals as a series of open fields. With each jump, each focused work session, each moment of self-care, you gather the spring you need for the next leap, ensuring that your journey is sustainable and your spirit remains buoyant. In the wolves' unified march, the hummingbird's poised hover, and the kangaroo's energetic bound, we recognize a universal grammar of motion, three guiding principles that speak to the way we live. Collective harmony, aligning our steps with others, amplifies our strength and smooths our journey. Mindful suspension, finding stillness within motion deepens our presence and enriches every action. Resilient momentum, balancing effort with renewal, sustains our progress over any distance. When we weave these principles into our own movements, our work, our relationships, our personal growth, we discover that life's path becomes not a series of obstacles, but a dance of intention, connection, and enduring spirit. Pause now and feel the gentle rhythm of your breath, a silent indicator of your inner motion. Recall a time when you felt out of sync, rushing ahead alone, burning brightly but burning out, or moving frenetically without purpose. Ask yourself, where in my life can I synchronize with my own pack, sharing vision, distributing effort, and celebrating collective strides? How can I hover in my own garden, pausing mid-motion to center my attention and gather insight before my next move? What changes can I make to bound forward like a kangaroo, structuring effort and rest so that each leap builds energy for the next? Let these reflections stir a fresh awareness of how movement, practiced with intention, can reshape every area of your life. Life will always carry us forward, whether we intend it or not. But when we learn the language of movement from the wolves, the hummingbirds, and the kangaroos, we gain the power to dance with life's currents rather than be swept away by them. So as you step into your day, remember to run with your pack in step towards shared horizons. Hover in the moment, finding stillness amid your motion. Bound forward with elastic resilience, sustaining your journey with balanced energy. In mastering this language, you transform every action into a lesson, every stride into a story, and every bound into a bold affirmation that you are not just moving through life, you are living it with purpose, presence, and unyielding spirit. And these teachers are always here, ready to guide our steps, if only we listen to the silent poetry in their movement.